Okay, so when you go to the doctor, when you go to the doctor and you say, "Hey doc, my arm is hurting. My arm is hurting. I don't know what's wrong with it, but my arm's hurting." And then they start to go in on a ton of questions that they have for you. When did it start hurting? When was the last time it was hurting? What were you doing when it was hurting? What kind of hurt is it? Was it a stabbing kind of pain? Is it a shooting pain? Is it throbbing pain? And you're like, I don't know. It was hurting. My arm's hurting. I need you to help me, right? But they ask all those questions because they're trying to get an idea of what the underlying issue is. They're trying to understand what's causing your arm to hurt so that they can properly prescribe you the right treatment. And you're like, ma'am, I clicked on this video to figure out why I'm going to fail again at my goals this year. Why are we talking about the doctor and my arm hurting? Well, a lot of times we look for videos to tell us what we should be doing. We look for videos to talk about the solutions to our problems without spending the appropriate amount of time understanding why we do the things that we're doing that keep us from achieving our goals, that keep us from achieving the things that we want. And many times you have to remember or think about the fact that many times we know exactly what we should be doing, and we still don't do it. Understanding why we still don't do it is going to be really important in being successful going forward, right? So this video is all about the things that if we keep doing them, we're not going to be successful, and why we are doing them. So then we can move forward and then talk about what we should be doing to address each one of them. But this video is a diagnostic video. This is not this is what you should be doing. This is if you keep doing these things, you're not going to reach your goals in 2025. It's National Quitters Day. I wanted to make sure I had this video on and published. I wanted to make sure I had this video published in time for National Quitters Day, because we as a race of people have an issue with sticking to our goals. 80 to 90% of people quit on the second Friday of January. It's National Quitters Day, people, so we need to understand why we keep quitting. All right, so I have my notes here. I'm going to be looking down, so just stick with me. All right, so what are the things? Oh, y'all. Before I jump into this list, I wanted to introduce myself. Hello, my name is Andrew Rose. I create content for single parents to help them reach their goals, to become financially independent, and overall just be prepared for raising their families, because I believe that this community, this demographic, needs the support more than ever. I myself have been a single parent for a really long time, and I know how important it is to have that support and have that guidance to help me be more effective in my single parenting. So number one, you haven't set any goals because you're too afraid that you're not going to achieve them again. You're tired of failing and you just have given up on setting goals. You haven't even set any goals for 2025 because you're like, why? Why bother? I'm not going to reach my goal. You have completely lost confidence in yourself. And so, of course, if you're not setting any goals, you're not going to reach any goals that you want to achieve in 2025. Oh, I put a note here. You're tired of setting the same goal over and over and constantly failing. I've been there. I have been to the point where, you know what, I'm tired of setting the same goal over and over again. I mean, why do I want to continue to put myself through this pain of constantly failing, constantly not achieving my goals? But what I realized is that not setting a goal, like not being intentional in setting a goal, is unintentionally still setting a goal. It's setting a goal of scarcity, right? not following through on things that I want to achieve leads me to a place where I'm not going to have enough to do the things that I want to do. It's setting a goal of regret, right? If you're not striving for anything, when you get a year down the line, if you get 6 months down the line, 5 years down the line, are you going to be happy? Or are you going to look back and say, you know what, I should have done something different? So not being intentional and setting goals, unintentionally set goals that you do not want to achieve. You do not want to achieve the goal of scarcity. You do not want to achieve the goal of regret. You do not want to achieve the goal of discontent. But that's what will happen if you don't intentionally set a goal. Number 2, you're stuck in the pit of perfectionism, what I call the pit of perfectionism. I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of wanting everything to be perfect, wanting everything to be just right. And there is no perfect or just right. We're human. Things are not going to be perfect. They're not going to be just right. And what you do, waiting on the perfect conditions, what's happening is that you're doing nothing. Nothing happens. Nothing happens waiting on perfect conditions. And if nothing is happening waiting on perfect conditions, you're still not reaching your goal. You're still not reaching your goal. I wrote down here Jeff Bezos. If any of you know who Jeff Bezos is, I'm sure we all do, right? The founder of Amazon. He actually created Amazon in 1994 as an online bookstore. How many people in 1994 were shopping online? How many people in 1994 even had computers in their homes? I know we didn't. I didn't see a computer until high school in like 1997. We didn't have a computer in our home until I was like a senior in high school. If Jeff Bezos waited, because he could have easily thought, this is not a great time. Not even that many people have computers in their homes. We may very well not have Amazon at the point that it is today. There is no perfect time. The time to start is now. Number 3, you don't have a plan. You don't have a plan. Maybe you have set your goal. Maybe you have used the very popular SMART goal setting technique where the goal is specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant or realistic, and it's time bound. And that's great. That's great. That's a great goal. But if you don't spend time creating a plan, you're unlikely to achieve that goal. I have been a project manager in project management for over a decade, and I know better probably than anyone the importance of having a plan. If you achieve that goal, if you somehow achieve your goal, it's going to take you more time, it's going to cost you more money, and you're going to make more mistakes than if you would have had a plan. So if you don't have a plan, that is absolutely going to impact your ability to achieve your goal. Number 4, you do not have an external system of accountability. You do not have an external system of accountability. So of course we know accountability is the state of being responsible for your actions. And so why did I say external accountability? Because if you're anything like me, we've been setting these goals and depending on ourselves to keep ourselves accountable. Not having a system of external accountability will absolutely impact your ability to achieve your goals. Number 5, this may ruffle some feathers. Somebody gonna feel some kind of way about this one, but it is what it is. Surrounding yourself or being surrounded by low achievers. That could be anyone. That could be your spouse, that could be your friends, that could be your children. That could be anyone. If you are surrounded by people who do not have ambition, who are fine just where they are, or if they're not fine where they are, they're complaining about where they are, but they're not doing anything to change it. If you're surrounded by people who don't have any motivation, don't have any aspiration, that will impact your ability to achieve your goals. It will impact your motivation. It will change the level of expectations you have for yourself. You may start to think, because in most cases, if you're surrounded by people like that, you're probably already doing better than they are. But what that will do is you will start to think, oh, well, I'm already doing better. I'm already doing better than them. Your ambition can start to decrease, and you can start to internalize their negative thinking, which we all know that negative thinking can impact our motivation and what we're able to achieve. So surrounding yourself with low achievers can definitely cause you not to reach your goals in 2025. All right, so we're halfway through the list. Are you finding the information beneficial so far? If so, go ahead and hit that like button. It signals to me that this information is valuable, and I can continue to make sure I make more of it and make the follow-up video that talks a little bit more about each one of these and how we can address them so that we can meet our goals in 2025. All right, number 6, you do not cope well with uncertainty. Anytime we're embarking upon a journey to achieve something, it's usually something we've never done before. And if we've never done it before, there's a level of uncertainty because we don't know what to expect. We may have watched YouTube videos of other people doing it. We may know someone else who's done it. We may read books of someone who's done it, but it's not our experience, and we don't know how we will fare in that endeavor. And so that can make us feel very uncomfortable. And if we're very uncomfortable, usually we steer clear of situations that make us uncomfortable. And if we're steering clear of situations that make us uncomfortable, that includes situations or goals that we could be reaching for ourselves. So not coping well with uncertainty will impact whether or not we're successful. Number 7, overestimating our abilities and becoming overwhelmed with our goal, or underestimating our ability and becoming bored with it. It is very possible that we can set a goal so lofty, so high, that it can overwhelm us. Even if we broke it down into small steps, we're still overwhelmed because the goal is just way too enormous. And there's already uncertainty baked in. There's already a level of maybe self-doubt baked in, and we just get overwhelmed and we quit. The other side of that is underestimating our ability and setting a goal so low that we're not even motivated to complete it because we feel like we can complete it at any point. And feeling like we can complete it at any point, we end up not doing it because we feel like, well, what's the effort? It's not even worth our time. So that's possible too, underestimating our ability and getting bored with the goal and not completing it just because we don't want to. We lack the motivation to complete it. Number 8, always prioritizing other people. Always prioritizing other people. Now, if you are a single parent, it is very, very easy for us to do that because our children are dependent primarily upon us for everything that they need. And so that means we have to make sure they have what they need. Usually that means that we have to prioritize them, but continuing to do that means that we will never reach any goal that we want to reach. It doesn't mean that we won't reach any goal, period, but it won't be our goal. We'll find ourselves reaching goals that other people have imposed on us, or we find ourselves reaching goals that are for the benefit of someone else, and we haven't spent the time figuring out what goals will benefit ourselves. Number 9, overthinking it. You can spend so much time analyzing your goals that you can think yourself out of doing it. You can think yourself out of doing it. I have been wanting to create YouTube videos for a long time, but I overthought it so much. I don't have the right equipment. I don't have anywhere to shoot the video. I don't have the right makeup. My hair is not right. My clothes are not right. Like literally anything that I can think about was not right. What am I going to talk about? Who I'm going to talk to? Whatever. I had to finally be like, girl, don't nobody know you. Don't nobody know you. Ain't nobody studying what you have on. Your hair. If you have something valuable, say, go ahead and say it. Somebody could benefit from it. So this is for you. Anybody who is thinking about starting a YouTube channel, baby, go do it. Even if it's messed up, even if you have to do it in your bedroom, even if you have to, your hair ain't right, your makeup ain't right, don't nobody know you. It's okay. As you go along, you'll get better. That's what I had to tell myself. As you go along, you'll get better. And I said this is what was not going to be a of what to do video. So just scratch that. Don't even worry about that. I'll talk about that in my next video. Last one. Number 10, looking at failure as final. I could go ahead and post this video and 2 people look at the video and I could consider that a failure. It's very possible I could consider that, I guess that video was terrible. Guess it failed. And I could quit. But failure, looking at failure as final, will absolutely stop you from reaching any goal that you set for yourself. If you fail and you have the mindset of, oh, well, I guess it wasn't for me. Oh, well, I guess that's a sign for me not to do it. You're not going to reach your goal. So looking at failure as final is a death sentence for any goal that you set for yourself. All right, I have a bonus. The bonus is trying to reach goals that were never your goals. So this goes back to number 8, where I was talking about putting other people, always prioritizing other people above yourself. If you're constantly prioritizing other people above yourself, that means you're going to prioritize their goals, and you're going to start striving for goals that other people impose upon you. So even if you do achieve those goals, you're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be happy because those are not your goals. Those are not your goals. So striving for goals that were never your goals to begin with are a surefire way to not reach goals in 2025, not reach your goals in 2025. So that's the list. Let me know if any one of those resonates with you. Tell me in the comments below which one of those resonates with you. And if you want to hear the flip side to this video, if you want to hear what should we do to make sure we can reach the goals that we set for ourselves in 2025, go ahead and subscribe to the video, click that notification bell, and be notified the next time I release the next video. And we will talk to you in the next one. Bye.